So we were gone last week because Zora was celebrating her birthday, and Shadowfox was with her. So we did not get to continue on with the story.
Oh, you guys didn't do a one shot?
No, we didn't.
Oh,
We didn't. Though after what we did on Saturday or on Sunday, this past Sunday, we played some tabletop simulator because both Mally and Moose were out. So we played some tabletop simulator. We played Betrayal in Baldur's Gate, which is a D&D variant of Betrayal at House on the Hill. And then we played some Lords of Waterdeep.
nice.
So I think, we could start doing that on the shows when we're not going to have enough people. Just like fire up Tabletop Simulator or Jackbox or something like that and just make it a D&D theme.
I'd be down for that. Lords of Waterdeep is always such fun to play. I've come in last every single time I've played it, but it's just so much fun.
I will say I own Lords of Waterdeep. Last night was the only time I've won. So
you won by quite a bit too.
Mm-hmm. It's just I got lucky draws.
Andrew screwed me at the end there by giving me that mandatory quest.
I was happy he gave it to you. Because it was either going to go to you or it was going to go to me, and it would have screwed me if it went to me.
I was going to get so many victory points off of that last quest I had. I was building up to complete all of them right at the end. But nope, he screwed me. Damn it, Panzer.
Here's this 2-point mandatory quest. Have fun. So, who wants to give a rundown on what happened 2 weeks ago when we were last in Ferelden here?
Well, I can tell you one thing. Thea caused problems.
I did no such thing.
She did. Oddly enough.
Oddly enough, Esthea was on her best behavior.
Because I was getting over the most recent concussion.
Not to mention,
wasn't she the one that was spotted, then screamed and ran?
But her stealth was atrocious, yes. But you know what? I will blame that on the dice gods. Yeah, I'll blame that on the dice gods.
I remember starting the campaign or starting the session the week before last, waking up from being hogtied essentially for the fourth time. And I don't remember what happened in the block after that leading up to the necromancer and the horde of undead.
So that is where we found what we were going to use as a hidey hole.
Oh, that's right.
We basically burrowed through a little bit and came across what was essentially an underground stream. Which, to our better judgment, we didn't stay there. I still don't want to know what the downside there was and what was in the water.
And we didn't submerge ourselves in the water either.
Nope.
We were on our best behavior in there.
I was kind of sad that nobody tried to go into the water. I'm not going to lie.
I did wash all my makeup off, though.
If it was shallow, maybe that would have been different. But because it was deep and there were spiders nearby, I'm like, I don't trust it.
So much nope. Anyways, when we woke up from our rest there, I don't remember who stuck their head out the door, but there was literally zombies just lining the ridge.
Well, because the reason why we left the caravan area was because we saw some sort of person raising the dead of the caravan. So
that's right.
By the way, I want to point out there wouldn't have been so many zombies if the entire caravan hadn't died.
Because of Esthea.
I only killed one of them, okay? The rest, that's not on me.
That's on the demon you summoned.
She has a name, probably.
Who attempted to make a bargain with.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, she's the only one that's wanted to be my friend up to this point, so I'm inclined to go with her.
Then
should
we
tell you
tried to run from all of the zombies sneakily. Asthea was spotted, shrieked like a siren, and took off running.
Didn't.
She did the smart thing. I will say Astia did the smart thing and just noped on out of there.
Well, in all fairness, she didn't have her gear either, so.
Yep.
True.
Yeah.
Astia was technically naked for most of the session last time.
And
She was just running around the cold hillside in that like half top and pants. That's all she had.
and then we were chased up to the top of the hill with the bargain bin Helm's Deep, and we tried to make a stand there.
Bargain bin Helm's Deep.
And you know what? We succeeded. Barely.
Yeah, I was gonna say you
Barely.
barely succeeded. A couple people fell. 2 of the doggos fell. You guys, like, everyone got out by like the skin of their teeth.
I mean, I was untouched, but you know, whatever.
Magnus has definitely had better days.
Yeah, Magnus was not looking at. Poor Magnus was just surrounded.
Yeah.
There were doggos down.
And Magnus,
down.
I just want to point out, the only one that came out there to help you was Astia.
Magnus does remember this. There
That is
is
not
remembrance
true.
of that.
I came out. Ross came out.
At the end of the fight.
He had to wait for his turn.
That's
I
not an
mean, this is true. This is true. He had to wait for his turn.
There are no turns in the real world.
and cleared the path, might I add.
No, Wisp, the dogs did not die. They almost died. Both Duranius and Steinbeck almost died.
Yeah, I think they were both reduced to 0 at
Yep.
different points in the fight.
Yep, and so was Magnus. But thanks to Astia having magic and being able to successfully cast heal, nobody died.
The big bit note there is successfully cast heal.
Just takes a bit of practice.
And it can't be on yourself.
So
That too.
before we get into this,
Bruce.
I have to share this with everybody because Joe Manganiello just had artwork done for his for like the saving throw show, not the saving throw, the death save show for their Descent into Avarice campaign. And one of them is just this badass looking turtle. And all I could think of was, you know, he's related to Toka.
Oh, I gotta see this now.
That is
Oh,
badass looking turtle.
That is a turtle death cleric.
that
Well.
is something you have to have.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You need that. You need that.
You just don't think of turtles as being
I do.
evil.
Wait, you could be a death cleric and not be evil.
Yeah. I mean, look at
Very,
at,
very true. Very, very true. But this
Look at Odysseus.
definitely
He's a grave cleric, and
pre-
people think they're evil because of necromancy.
Necromancy is just magical recycling.
I'm sorry, I assumed your alignment.
No, but to be fair, if you look at him, he does look pretty damn evil.
How dare I assume your alignment?
Oh, so afterwards, after killing the zombies, everyone decided to take refuge in the secondhand Helm's Deep. After a brief investigation, you all began to take a night's rest when you were interrupted by the sounds of horse hooves beating into the ground. Everyone began to look outside, and they noticed that there were 4 horsemen One of them having the necromancer bound and tossed over the back of their horse. Though once again, due to some poor stealth rolls, one of them noticed you in the house. And as we pick up today, there is a very loud pounding at the front door as a very heavy mailed gauntlet is just slamming into the door.
I am very quiet, and I'm still looking. Oh no, I'm around the corner, readying my bow in case they come through, and I am just staying quiet.
Well,
I think I'm actually gonna follow Valentha's lead there and step outside and around the corner and call Dorinius out there with me.
Okay, so you guys are like up on the you guys are in the courtyard.
Yep.
Okay.
when we ended the session last, I had just asked the group, talking or running. And at that, I turn around and notice half the party is gone already. Well, I guess it's running. And I go out back to.
All right. And what about Magnus?
Oh, everybody's falling back to there, are we? Okay.
I didn't expect everyone to come back here. I was just being back up.
Well, come to think of it, the way out was actually in there.
Yeah, there
But
was the
We now don't have a way out.
No, we still technically have. Okay, I'm just gonna stage whisper. We technically still have a way out. They're not through the doors yet, but I'm fucking tired. I want to rest. We have not had a decent rest in almost over a day. I don't want to go back out there when I know that we could just be safe here, potentially. I don't know if they're friend or foe.
This rarely happens, but I agree with Valentha. I am exhausted.
So I think we should talk then.
Be my
Well,
guest.
I think one of us should go out there. There's no reason to play all our cards at once.
Magnus, you're charming and nice. Maybe not to volunteer you, but do you want to give it a go, or should we have a Canary friend?
I'll go talk to them. And
Right.
I slowly move towards the front door, still holding my side from the amount of pain I'm in.
As you walk back inside, the pounding is still going on. You could hear a man's voice on the other side begin to call out, "In the name of the king, open this door immediately."
Ask which king.
I
I
don't
know the
think
answer seems obvious, but still. The answer may seem obvious. I'm just to be sure.
Who actually has that, the note?
Note?
I mean, I have nothing, so.
Are you talking about when you raided the caravan? What note?
Don't we have one? Telling us basically a letter of introduction?
Oh, are you talking about back in Lothering?
Yes.
Oh, did I get that?
One of you did.
Oh, I did. Yes, it's right there.
Yeah.
Yep, I got it. It's cool. I was like, oh shit, who has that? Yep, it's cool. I got it.
Enough of this. Rogers, get the ram.
Well, don't break a perfectly good door. One moment. And I quickly step back. There, Valentha, do you have the note on you?
Did you open the door yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I told them to hold on a moment. Flenda,
I break down a
need-
perfectly good door. I'm right there with Magnus. It's like, whoa.
I need the note.
All right, here.
Take the note and move to the door to crack it open for them.
Okay. So as you crack open the door, one of the men comes stumbling in off balance as he's swinging a small portable ram, as he kind of like shoves by you a bit and just stumbles and like braces himself against a wall.
I told you to wait a moment.
The other gentleman on the side of the on the other side of the door kind of looks down at you, kind of trying to give you a little read with his eyes. Okay, dwarf, you have that's one chance to explain why you are in my keep.
Well, obviously, we took refuge in here from all of the undead. Probably the undead of the, I assume, necromancer that you have tied up on that horse.
And he looks around and he sees like the multiple like discarded corpses all along the yard of the keep. I see. How many are there of you?
Well, first things, you said the king.
Yes, the king. Our king.
We have Magnus sort of waves the note back and forth. This
He reaches down and he takes the paper and he like begins to read it, like every now and then glancing at you suspiciously. And you can see like his face, the expression on his face changes as he gets to the bottom. And he takes it and he folds the paper and he gives it back to you. Is all that is said on there true?
Yes.
So we are in a blight.
Yes, we are.
I see.
Didn't you? Can we still see the red lyrium spire from here?
You can see the glow of it.
I point out past him. See that?
Yes, we know of
You-
that.
You know what it is then?
Unfortunately, I do. And now that I have information that a new blight has began, it makes more sense as to why it jutted out of the ground.
Mm-hmm.
We originally thought it was maybe due to the nefarious deeds of the necromancer here, but it appears we may have been wrong.
I mean, I'd still blame the necromancer, but the big thing here is we need to get to what is the name of that? Denerim?
Denerim.
Denerim.
Indeed.
And that, as I gesture out the door, is unfortunately what remains of our caravan.
Darkspawn?
Demon.
That may or may not have been worse. All right. Well,
The demon killed the caravan, and then the necromancer raised the caravan.
Oh, so it went hand in hand.
Yeah.
I see. Back to my original question. How many of there are you in your group? This mentions 3 people.
Actually, would it mention 4? 3? 4?
No, yeah. No, I'm sorry. It would I had mentioned 4. A human, a dwarf, an elf, and a kunari.
Coincidentally.
That's exactly right then.
Coincidentally.
I didn't even know.
I didn't know it had the actual races in there.
As
Woohoo!
he looks over to the guard, who's now kind of like trying to adjust himself and standing up properly, a little embarrassed of how he just came stumbling to the door.
I help him up a little bit.
He's like, you and the boys grab those corpses and burn them.
Oh, and 3 Mabari.
Burn them up. What? Well, we didn't see any.
We also
Mabari.
have 3 Mabari.
Oh,
I think the note
Oh.
omitted that.
oh, that. Okay, you confused me there for a moment. I thought you said you were burning Mabari as well, and we were going to have
No,
words.
there are no zombie Mabaris.
Thank God. Very well.
So
the
we were
corpses,
hoping to
I
maybe.
am going to be talking to our friend here about a possible escort to Denerim.
Can we rest here at least until we're ready to depart? We haven't had rest in well over 2 days.
He walks in and he shuts the door behind him, and he begins to take off the gauntlets on his hands. Like, yes, since you seem to have an introductory letter to the king, you are friends of the state, meaning you are more than welcome to stay here in my keep. In the morning, we shall provide you an escort to Denerim.
Glance over my shoulder. You can all come out now.
I still have my bow up, and I reveal myself around the corner, like full body. I'm not peeking around. I'm just taking a step out, and I'm just like, "Sup?" I don't say "sup," but I've just got that.
That would be Valentha, our scout, tracker, and very suspicious elf.
I narrow my eyes when he says that.
You're just kind of proving his point there.
But he's not wrong, and she doesn't care.
And he takes his helmet off, and you can see that he's a human male, maybe in his early 30s, but like half of his face is burned,
Aw.
from like a very like deep fire scar.
Where'd you acquire that?
A mage gave it to me about 3 years back.
Oh, see, it's fine. Wait, shit was still happening. It's fine.
Where are my manners? I am Captain Lancel. I oversee this fort.
Sorry.
Wow, laugh at the poor guy's name. Damn.
Well, you know, Shadow Fox's name is Lance, so it's just it made me chuckle. Sorry, it wasn't towards you. It was
Don't
just...
ruin my mystique.
I'm sorry. Continue, sir. What was the name again? Lancel?
Lancel, Captain Lancel.
Yeah.
I think at the mention of his name, I will kind of step out into this doorway. I guess I was wearing, so I'm wearing the basically underclothes that I was before, but I have that cloak on that we found in here that has I assume their symbol on the back of it as well.
Yeah, it's got the symbol of Denerim on the back.
Our poor mage has seen better days.
Indeed, we will have to get you some better clothing, my lady.
I would appreciate that.
Please join me. Sit. Looks like you've been on your feet for quite a while.
And with that, Magnus just sort of like plops down on a chair.
I'm gonna shimmy in right here in the seat closest to him.
I am leaning against the wall. Bow still out. Not notched now, but it's still out.
He looks over to you and says, you can join us, miss. I am not planning on attacking you or anything of the sort.
You didn't happen to see any more of the undead out there, did you?
We saw a couple of them, but they were quickly dispatched. That's how we caught the necromancer.
That's a good thing.
Never mind. I'm just staring.
Curl up in a corner.
Actually, no, I am going to say something. I'm just going to keep staring at him and go, how many of you are there?
Well, there is me, and then there are my 3 men who are outside currently burning the bodies of the deceased. Twice deceased.
They've already been burned once too. That's why we were
Burned
shocked
and-
when they got resurrected as
Burned
minions.
and yet raised by magic.
And now killed and burned again.
Well, you know, magic is a very powerful thing. It was just the four of you said, that took down the necromancer. How impressive.
It was less impressive and more we got the jump on him, and one of my men put an arrow into the back of his leg. Can't really run when you're down a knee.
So he's not dead.
Oh, no. We have some questioning for him.
Don't know why he'd be alive still. That's just me.
Well, given that your friend here has informed me that spire is not the result of the necromancer, but due to the coming of the next blight, I doubt the necromancer will be surviving for much longer, as most of our questions had to do with the pillar.
Well, you got your answers. Doesn't need to be around anymore, does he?
We have some other questions we'd like to ask him, mainly trying to find if there is a circle of necromancers nearby, or if he is acting on his own. If there are necromancers, we need to send a report out to have them taken care of sooner than later.
Do you have a cell here to put him in?
No, that's not how we do things here.
Lovely.
Oh no, we will be questioning him tonight.
Does this land, by any chance, have a problem with necromancers? They seem to be quite common.
It's less the land and more that since mages are now free to practice their arts on their own without the guidance of a circle, some have decided to go a little rogue. There has been a hefty increase in the darker practices of magic, blood magic, necromancy.
Well, perhaps that wouldn't have happened if you didn't keep them locked up for so long.
I would agree.
You wouldn't know.
No, I wouldn't.
As he kind of like gives the both of you a look after that exchange. Is everything okay?
Everything's fine.
Do you have any food?
Oh, yes, we do. Let me see, where is it? And it's up, and he walks over and he grabs a cord on the wall and he rings it, and there's like you can hear down lower in the fort, there's a ringing of a little chime, and about like 2 or 3 minutes later, a couple humans walk up from underneath. They look to be maybe in their early teens.
Did we check downstairs? Did no one check downstairs?
I think we scanned downstairs, but we didn't do like a thorough investigation.
Oh, we did upstairs. I know that. Okay. I couldn't remember. I was like, where the hell were they hiding? Okay.
And they look around at the group and then back to Lancel. Like, okay, recruits. Time for your cooking training. The men and I have just come back from an exhausting mission, and we have guests. So, get to preparing. And you can see like the teenagers kind of look at one another and kind of get like a questioning look on their face. They kind of sigh and they go back downstairs as he walks over and he takes his seat again next to Estia.
I don't suppose this keep of yours has any sort of bath?
Well, we are civilized beings. Yes, there is a it's less than a bath and more of Well, like a pool, I guess.
That'll work. I will require the use of that after dinner.
As he nods, he's like, just all you'll do is you'll go downstairs. There is another flight of stairs in the back right-hand corner. Go down those. It'll take you down into the barracks. The bathroom is all the way down the hall at the end. You will need a key to get in.
Wonderful.
You need a bathroom key.
It's for customers only.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Just buy a stick of gum, guys. It's okay.
So what brings... Well, I have to ask, what got you that letter of introduction to the king, no less, to talk to him
Sherlock.
about the blight? Sheer luck.
And a set of random circumstances that put us in a place we didn't want to be in at the wrong time.
Apparently. You got this from our watch command of Fort Ostagar. That means you were in the wilds? What were the four of you
Yes.
doing in the wilds?
Being sold to a necromancer.
I'm sorry.
That's why we ask.
Everyone asks this question. Why is it so important?
Most people normally don't go wandering through the wilds. Most people avoid it.
We were being sold to a necromancer.
We got caught with our pants down.
Abducted in the night from wherever we happened to be, thrown in a locked wagon, and carted off through the wilds to some necromancer, who, by the way, is now dead.
So you've tangoed with two necromancers and ended up living.
Hence why we asked
My
if
question
the plant has
earlier.
a problem with necromancers.
You are
just-
quite proficient at that. You would make decent witch hunters.
Lovely.
Like making a hobby out of it.
It pays well, but to each their own.
Is your king home?
I wouldn't know. It's been about 2 months since I was last in Denerim.
Can you send a crow to him or anything?
I can dispatch a crow. So my plans were to leave first thing in the morning and begin to escort you there myself. Give you a proper guard along the way.
As opposed to the caravan,
That's
which
funny.
did last.
Would be nice to have a proper guard again. It's been too long.
And he like looks back and he notices that Dorinius is laying on the bed. He kind of just laughs and shakes his head.
Where shall we sleep?
There are beds available down in the barracks if you wish.
But I think my hound has already claimed one for me for the night.
Apparently. Well, I'm a smart enough man not to know not to argue with the Mabari. They can be rather stubborn when comfortable.
Found a room upstairs. I'll claim that.
Oh, that is my room. If you are talking about the one in the tower.
I am.
Well, that is my room, but you are welcome to share it if you wish.
I'll pass, Shem.
As he like catches himself, like, I meant no disrespect, and I did not mean it in that way. I was just being hospitable.
I just walk away and start going downstairs where he said the barracks were. And I turn back to Saran, and I just go, Garas. And he follows me.
Is she always that blunt?
Yes. Yes, she is. This is actually more kind of her nice side.
Yeah, she was being rather polite.
I noticed she didn't put the bow away.
That's also normal for her.
Yes, but she only called you one name.
I think she likes you.
Or tolerates me, at least.
Well, it's more than she gives the rest of us.
What about the rest of you? Where do you all hail from? What brings you so so close to the blight? I mean, aside from the necromancer.
To be honest, we were making our way back north, and everything has just sort of fallen in our path
Wrong place, wrong time.
consistently.
Well, let us hope this is a change to your luck.
I don't even know how I got here, to be honest.
What do you mean?
I'm from very far away.
Your accent does seem to hint that.
Yes, well, that's the hint of nobility.
Nobility. Which house?
Minrathos.
You're
You may
Tevinter.
not have heard of us from all the way down here.
You're from Tevinter.
I am.
Very rare to see one of your kind down here.
There's a reason for that, as I am quickly discovering.
I see no weapons on you. Are these people your escorts?
It's a little complicated.
From the sounds of it, your entire ordeal here has been one massive complication.
Oh, it really has. Yes. And these people, they're a little wild for my tastes. I mean, no offense, Magnus, but you have hit me with that weapon of yours several times.
Why would he do such a thing as that?
That is a very good question.
As he kind of like looks over to Magnus questioningly.
There's always been a good reason. Don't worry.
I would like to hear a reason of you needing to smack a lady of nobility in the face with your axe.
Well, so she didn't get possessed by the demon, obviously. She can't be possessed by a demon if she's unconscious.
That demon had no interest in possessing me, Magnus. We were having a conversation.
So you're a mage?
I am.
Where is your staff?
I have no need for a staff.
You have no focus?
Oh, I do. But we do things slightly different in Tevinter. You see, these once beautiful gauntlets of mine have the focus weaved into them.
Interesting. Yes, they do look like they can use a decent polish. If you'd like, I can have one of my recruits do so.
Can they repair the holes in them as well?
Unfortunately,
the dagger-sized hole in this one that goes right through, and then the matching dagger-sized hole in this one that also goes right through.
is he shakes his head. Unfortunately, they are but boys in their early teens. They do not hold such skill that would be required to work on such pieces of art. Though there are experienced smiths in Denerim who can easily repair that for you without an issue.
Well, perhaps I'll just hold on to them until then.
I'm sorry. This is no way to treat someone of your stature. If you like, downstairs in one of the rooms, we have garments for ladies who happen to stop by, either visiting or traveling with a escort. If you would like, you have free reign of the clothing down there, so it doesn't look like you are dressed in a couple rags with a blanket wrapped around you.
Well, I very much appreciate that, and perhaps I'll go take that bath now before dinner and get changed into something a little more appropriate.
You have free use of my keep.
She gets up and whistles at Durinius, and he hops off the bed, and then they head down towards the bath area, stopping at the top of the stairs. You mentioned a key?
Oh, yes. Where did I? And he like begins to like, and he reaches into like the top part of his breastplate, and he pulls out an iron key and he tosses on over to you.
Thank you, sir.
And as Estia goes down, he looks over to Ross, and then he looks over to Magnus. So all of this just happened out of the blue.
Basically.
Have you ever had one of those days where everything just keeps going wrong?
I have, but nothing like this.
That's been literally since we found ourselves in the wilds.
I see.
It has been one event after another that has put us in the path of a necromancer, the Blight, another necromancer.
Well, let us hope that our meeting here will turn that luck around.
Also, I'm not sure if Ostagar is still there.
Has been some time since we've heard anything from them.
That's kind of where the Blight started, from what we can tell.
In Ostagar.
Well, outside of Ostagar.
Oh, this is just history repeating itself. Next, you'll tell me Lothering was destroyed.
Possibly.
As he kind of like stops and he looks at you. You're joking.
Was it on fire at any point?
Lothering?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was on fire.
And a bathhouse exploded. Well, imploded anyway.
It was on fire.
I see. These are indeed troubling times again. I honestly did not expect to see yet another blight so soon.
Well, things happen.
What with the whole events that just happened a couple years back with the Inquisition, and the previous blight hasn't been finished for that long.
Maybe
almost
it
seems
was bored.
It almost seems to be too soon.
It's magic of some breed. You expect it to be totally predictable.
When the predictions in every other time have been on point, yes. Blights, from my understanding, are like clockwork. This seems to just be happening too soon, which, to be fair, worries me.
Well, it worries me too, but it's not like I can go out there and tell it to stop, that it's too early. I don't think that would work.
No, it definitely would not work. You can't just yell at a blight and make it go away.
I mean, have you tried?
Enough with the blight talk. Please sit, make yourselves at home, rest. Tonight you can be assured you will have a peaceful sleep. Will have food to fill your bellies. You will have a fresh bath if you wish. Just relax. Take some of that stress off of your shoulders. And in the morning we will begin our our travel to Denerim.
Magnus just kind of like half passes out in the chair he's sitting in.
All right, so I think right there we can go ahead and take our first break of the night as you guys begin to get situated in the keep. Some of you taking baths, the rest of you trying to not shoot the keep commander. But stick with us, guys. We will be back in about 5 minutes or so.
I'll be right back.
Okay, we are back. Okay, somebody say something.
What?
Okay. I just needed to see what Zoom on my volume mixer was the one I needed to mute, because they have Zoom and Zoom meetings on it, and it's just, I don't want to make a mistake of muting one, not it being the one that we need, and then AFK chat leaking into the stream again. Because we did that.
AFK chat, totally TOS friendly, right?
I mean, that's why I mute everyone, is because sometimes, you know, conversations, especially on Tuesday night, can sometimes be questionable.
I mean, it's TOS friendly like 30% of the time.
And the other
Yeah.
time, it sounds like a bunch of dirty old ladies talking to one another.
It just sounds weird and disturbing because it's out of context.
That too.
Dirty old hands.
You don't know what I'm talking about. You signed the NDA, yeah. So I think I've decided that I am gonna do a replay of Inquisition tomorrow, or start one. Don't know what I know. I'm gonna be a mage. Don't know what race I'm gonna be, and I don't know who I'm going to try to romance. And no, Solus is not an option.
Female Cullen.
Female Cullen.
Go be a female and romance Cullen.
Why romance Cullen?
Because after 3 games, we finally got it.
Romance
And
the
it was
druggie.
Worth.
Romance
Wasn't
the
worth it.
No,
druggie.
you can kick him of his habit.
Well, the only way you could kick him of his habit is if you romance him.
No, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You
no,
can-
it's there's a little side quest that tells you, hey, no, keep taking it or stop, and it's not a romanceable quest.
You could sit there. You could like literally just either hand him the needle or take it away from him.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because I think what I want to do is I want to go through it this time around and actually get everybody's side quests and everything. Like actually have like a family relationship with all of them instead of just picking like 4 of them and just ignoring everyone else like I did in the first playthrough.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, I have never been able to romance anyone in Inquisition.
Romance call.
You should do Dorian then.
Dude, yeah.
Dorian's is a roller coaster, man.
Dorian is one of my favorite characters.
Do it.
Dorian and Vivian. Just because sassy mages.
Oh my gosh, we don't see eye to eye because she's very pro circle, but man,
That's
she's
sass.
awesome. It's just that
That's sass.
sass.
Yeah, I love Viv.
Zorro, have you
Yeah.
shared the Dorian YouTuber?
No, I should though. There is a cosplayer that is like spot on Dorian, and there's
Oh.
like there's this one GIF I use all the time that I make
Hilarious.
where he's like, it's like they just keep telling me you're too flamboyant, and I'm like, well, you're just jealous, and he throws up confetti. I'm just jealous. Behold the fields of which I grew my fox and see how he just like walks away and he's like all sassy. And then when he does Fenris, because he'll do Fenris as well. So Fenris is he's like super emo and he's just like, I don't care, whatever, kill mages.
Jay Meister, what's going on, dude? Dragon Age shenanigans is what's happening tonight here, and then on my channel tomorrow is going to be more Dragon Age shenanigans.
This makes me so
Haven't gotten into a fight with anyone yet tonight.
No fights yet.
well,
But
give it time.
the night is still young.
Asthea might decide that somebody knows something a little too much that she doesn't like and try to kill somebody.
I'm planning on having just a nice, relaxing night. Can take a long bath, get some good clothes back on my body, have a nice,
Nice,
dinner.
relaxing night of murder.
You know, if someone needs to be murdered, I'll think about it. But
So, if nobody else needs to do anything throughout the night, we can go ahead and skip to the morning if you want.
I do have a very, very
Okay.
important question.
Yes.
What kind of clothes are available to me?
You know
All
what?
3 sizes too big.
Let's let fate decide that. Go ahead and roll me a d6.
Oh Lord.
Dude, Kunari are Kunari and dwarves are my favorite races in Dragon Age 5. Very nice clothes. They have it looks like the current trunk that has been pulled out and placed in like direct access. The clothes inside of it look to fit a not to fit, but to suit a woman in high standing. In a very Denerim like fashion. It's not as flamboyant or as out there as what you're used to with your Tevinter threads or the Orlesian ones that you had in the caravan. These are more simple style color schemes, but at the same time the clothing and everything flows nicely. It looks well kept, and it has that sort of aura that you are somebody of importance.
Is there anything in like some nice earthy brown tones with like metallic trimmings, like copper or silver colored trimmings or anything?
That's pretty much what you're looking at. It's just very simple.
Nice.
It's like a very simple color scheme.
So in this trunk of these clothes, is there anything that's like form fitting, looks really, really attractive, but really gives me a nice range of movement as well?
Yeah, it's like pretty much you open this chest and this chest read your mind as to what you were looking for.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna grab that out of the chest. I'm not gonna put it on because it's already late in the evening and we're just gonna have food and go to bed, but I'm gonna take that with me and then just wear a robe for the rest of the night.
Okay.
Going to take a backup set for when those get incinerated.
Need a backup set. Okay. So the night passes, everybody gets a very comfortable sleep, as this is the first time you've been in, well, maybe not Estia. She was sleeping in Merrick's wagon most of the trip, but for everyone else, this is the first time you've actually had a decent bed to sleep in a couple weeks. So everyone gets a nice little sleep here, well enough to where you guys are up to full HP.
That was
Estia.
much.
Full HP in a while.
Estia, during your sleep, every now and then you're woken up after brief glimpses of a Tevinter ballroom, and you could see the a couple people that you know in like the higher up families, everything, almost as if they're toasting you. But it's like every time their glasses cling together in toast, you're like briefly woken up, not really startled, but just that you fall out of sleep for just a brief second, and then you go back under. And this happens about 4 or 5 times during your rest.
At any point in any of these visions or dreams or whatever they may be, do I see my father in the crowd, and does he look impressed with me?
He looks proud. It's almost as if he's become very accepting of you.
And okay, yeah, SD is gonna have very conflicted feelings about that. She's gonna be happy and sad all at the same time.
And it's like every time that Tevinter crystal clings together, you're just brought out of the sleep for just a brief moment before you go back under.
For the brief moment that I'm brought out of sleep, am I like consciously aware of what I had just seen, or am I too groggy and too asleep still to really put it together?
When you wake up in the morning is when you kind of put 2 and 2 together of what you were seeing. during your sleep, it was just you were up, you were woken up for just a moment, you turned over and just went back to sleep.
So when I wake up in the morning and kind of give it a bit of thought, I'm going to try to remember the crowd that I saw in these visions. And I'm going to try to remember if I saw the demon in the crowd anywhere.
You did not see the demon. Or if you did, you didn't recognize her. You didn't see anything that stood out specifically as demonic.
Gotcha. Okay. I think SD is just going to lay in bed awake for a while, thinking about all of this.
Okay. What about the rest of you?
Hmm.
I had just found an empty bed and passed out. PTFO'd.
Okay.
Did Magnus fall asleep in the chair? That is a really good question.
Magnus, if Magnus wants to, like, if Magnus fell asleep in the chair, Lancel would try to wake him up, but if, like, Magnus just shoot him away, he would just, like, put a blanket over him and just let him sleep there.
I know.
Oh, what
No, he fell asleep in the
Okay, so when everybody comes up in the morning, you can see Magnus kind of, like, hunched over the table, using his arm as a pillow with just, like, a light blanket over his shoulders. Steinbeck sleeping at, like, the foot of his chair. What about Valantha? What did she do?
When she went down to the barracks, she probably noticed that it was a bunch of bunk beds where probably the recruits and everyone else slept.
Oh, they're solo beds. They're not bunk beds. Like, they're solo
but
beds.
They're all in a shared room, right?
Yeah, they're all in a shared room.
Yeah, she went nope. And she's actually gonna go outside and investigate this little area right here.
Okay. So this is during the night.
Yes.
All right. So let me go ahead and bring the map up. So I'm just gonna put everybody. I'm just gonna put people on bed tokens, or I'll put Magnus on the table here. Just so we know where they're at sleep wise.
under table.
Yep, under table. All right, so let me go ahead and bring the map up. All right. So Valentha, you walk up and you can see your companions in the room sleeping in the beds. Well, two of them in the beds anyway, and Magnus asleep at the chair.
Now go ahead and I'll quietly, not necessarily trying to like sneak, like I'm being suspicious. I'm just uninterested in sleeping in the same area as many other people. I just want to be alone. So, yeah, I'm just gonna quietly go outside and try to investigate this.
Okay. And when you walk down, you notice that there are two of the other guards standing watch over this building. The door slightly cracked, and every now and then you can hear the sound of something heavy slamming against flesh.
What's going on in there?
Mm-hmm. Is like one of them jostles awake. Oh, miss. Interrogation.
That's where you're keeping the necromancer?
Yes. Well, more like, as he looks in, he chuckles to himself, more like beating the necromancer.
All right, what's in that building then? I point to the smaller one behind me.
Storehouse?
Perfect. I'm gonna turn around and go ahead and open it.
All right, and the door, you can see that it's locked with a chain. There's something you need in there, miss.
Not particularly. Fine, where are the horses sleeping?
Oh, in there, as he points back to the large building that they're standing guard in. I mean, it is a barn.
You're keeping the necromancer around the animals.
No, we're beating the necromancer around the animals. We don't really have holding cells.
All right. How easy is it to climb the roof of this tower?
I mean, you've done. You saw Estia do it. Estia kind of did it with ease.
But to climb up kind of like high?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll. Oh no, but I'm leaving Saran behind. Oh no, that doesn't work out. Poop. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go around back. Kind of over here, and there's like I'm assuming this is like a cliff face.
Let me see.
Or is it just elevated a bit?
It's elevated a bit. It isn't necessarily a cliff, but it's up probably about a good 20-30 feet.
Okay. So she's gonna go ahead, just kind of surveillance the area, just make sure everything is good, and then she'll actually pass out right next to the steps over here.
Okay, so that's where she falls asleep?
Yep.
Okay. So, as I said, morning comes. Everybody wakes up either in their beds or on the rocks or on the table. And Lancel actually walks into the back into the house itself, or into the keep itself, just about as everybody's getting up and like rubbing the sleep out of their eyes. And you can see that he's like wiping his gauntlets off with a cloth, and you can see there's like blood smeared all over it. I hope you enjoyed your sleep.
It was all right. You've been busy, it looks like.
Interrogation.
And how's that going?
He's dead.
But did you get anything useful out of him?
Not much. He was babbling on about something about being the next great necromancer to grace this what did he call it? Shithole of a plane?
Delusions of grandeur, it seems.
Most necromancers are like that. Though he is
wasted magic, if you ask me.
Indeed, magic can do more harm than good at times. You can see that he like kind of like traces his finger over like the very large burn scar on his face. But anyway, yes, what was I saying? Oh, yes, go ahead and enjoy your fill of the breakfast. Our recruits are making it right now, and then we can set off for Denerim whenever you like.
And you'll be accompanying us the entire way there?
Me and the men will be accompanying you, yes.
Wonderful. She kind of glances over at Magnus. Is he awake yet, or is he still like face down on the table?
Is Magnus snoring? Yes, he is.
I mean, he's a dwarf.
She's gonna grab a fork or something off the table and kind of prod him a bit. Prod him a bit harder.
Magnus wakes up quickly and grabs her wrist.
Morning.
Squint a little. Let go of
Is there
Estia.
any like glasses of water or anything on the table?
Not really glasses of water. There's like half-finished glasses of ale.
Close enough. I'm gonna grab it and splash it in his face. Come on, wake up.
Not entirely necessary.
I think it was. Looking awfully groggy, Magnus.
Oh, Magnus grabs one of the mostly empty mugs around him, knocks it back, and kind of leans back in the chair. I'm away.
Anyone seen Valentha yet? There's Magnus and the brute over there. Where'd she go?
Maybe up, maybe outside. I don't really know.
I'm sure she'll turn up eventually, or not. Either way.
The elf. Yes.
Yes.
One of my men said she was walking about the courtyard last night. Tried to get into the storeroom, and then wandered around back.
Snooping around. Why am I not surprised? Well, I'm not going after her. If she wants to come in and have some breakfast, she's welcome to.
She's not a thief, is she?
Well, I have seen her take quite a few things, including my own stuff.
Asthea, it is far too early for any of this.
Am I wrong, Magnus?
Still far too early.
My point exactly.
Oh God, you took me with them.
The other guards walk in, or the other soldiers walk in a little bit after the conversation, and they just plop down in empty seats and they begin to take food as it's being served. All of them looking like just like basic soldiers, the low ranking, maybe just barely above like private.
Asthea is there having her breakfast and being very prim and proper about the whole thing. Probably standing out like a sore thumb in this group.
I want to investigate the barn.
Sure. Barn is wide open.
Cool, I'm going in.
All right, and as you walk in, you can see the crumpled body of the necromancer, just in the center of the barn, blood splattered all around him on all around it on the hay underneath it and up against some of the stall walls where the horses are kept.
They left the dead body of a necromancer unguarded?
He's dead.
Sure.
She just kind of mumbles under her breath and just Shem. She's gonna take out her knife, cautiously walk up to it and check for her pulse.
Okay, go ahead and give me a I know there's medicine on here.
Oh my goodness, we haven't rolled yet tonight, guys.
No, you haven't.
Oh my.
I know.
First one a good one.
Okay, so there's no medicine check, but there is a healing check. So go ahead and give me a healing roll if you can. If not, it's cunning.
There we go. Okay.
So you go down and you begin to check for a pulse, and its hand comes up and it like very weakly grasps you by the wrist, and it looks up at you, and like its face is a severely beaten and broken, and it, aside from all like the bruises and broken dents on its face, you could tell that this was possibly an elf, maybe in his earlier years, but it looks nothing like the necromancer that you came across.
He's not the same one we saw before.
No, even the cloak that he's wearing is not the same cloak that the necromancer was wearing. This just looks like a cloak that someone would wear to protect them from the elements.
So I'm kneeling down, knife still out, but not like in front of me or anything like that. Just kind of off to the side, just kind of ready, and I just lean in real close. Who are you? And I say it in Elvish.
He tries to speak back to you, but as he does, he coughs up, and you can see a couple teeth fall out of his mouth, and like just the swollenness on the side of his face. You can tell that they broke his jaw.
I suppose will result to nodding. Are you the necromancer?
He just like grabs your, like, very weakly grips the wrist that he's holding onto and painfully just shakes his head.
Was he even here?
And he looks up at you and kind of shrugs his shoulders a little bit.
Trying to figure out how to word this next thing. Did those men bring you here last night?
He nods.
Were they the ones calling you the necromancer?
He nods again.
Where do you come from? I know he can't talk, so I'm assuming he's gonna point like north, south, east, or west.
And he looks up at you, and instead of like pointing north, south, east, or west, he kind of like taps right above your heart, and then he goes and he does the same thing to his.
Don't understand. Are you Dalish?
And he nods.
Where does your clan originally hail from?
Forest.
Brazilian?
And he nods.
Are you a scapegoat?
And he pauses for a moment, kind of like running it through his head, and he kind of nods. But you can tell the nod isn't really sure if he's a scapegoat or if it was just wrong place, wrong time for him.
Is he telling the truth? I'm trying to figure out how to do an insight check.
There is insight. It's cunning.
I gotta learn this shit, man.
Let me
Next time I
see.
level up, man.
Oh, maybe it's not cunning. Communication. Empathy. It's empathy.
Ow, empathy
is
You know, I printed this out and it's not easy to read, is it?
bargaining, deception, etiquette, gambling, investigation, leadership, performance, persuasion,
Empathy.
seduction. No.
Why can't I find empathy on here? Oh, perception.
Perception, yeah. Empathy is perception.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You don't know why. If it's because you feel sorry for him or if it's because he is Dalish, but there's something inside of you that tells you that what he's saying very likely may be the truth.
I'm gonna observe the markings on his face. This might be like super in depth, so I apologize. What do the markings look like, so I know what god he represents?
At the moment, you can't really tell with how busted his face is.
Okay.
You can't tell if those are tattoos or markings or bruises or what. But it seems that his face has been worked over without hesitation.
I'm gonna lean in really close until we're almost touching noses, and I'm just gonna have the most, just not breaking eye contact at all with him. Do you know of the one named Ishmael?
And he, like, when you say that, he kind of like looks up at you, like his one good eye kind of showing you that he understands.
Where is he?
He's kind of like turning his neck a bit.
Is he back in the forest?
And he nods.
Thanatos. If you are lying to me about who you are, I will not hesitate to cut your throat. Do you understand?
He holds up a hand and kind of like brings it up to his jaw and moves it over a little bit, and like he winces in pain, and he struggles with it, but he does end up getting out already dead.
I kind of take one step back real quick, still kind of kneeling, but I'm stepping back. Are you just a talking corpse? Or are you fearing that they're going to kill you?
And the second question, he gives a nod. Said they'd be back. Finish me off.
Do you wish for death?
He groans in pain because he very hastily shakes his head no. Escape.
You're no condition to escape, even if you wanted to, even if I wanted to help you. Know this. We may be the same kin, but I don't openly show love towards other clans. Since you are not whom we seek, I might sway them to let you go. But don't think I'm doing it out of the kindness of my heart. I'm just merely doing it because you are not whom we seek. Do you understand?
And kind of nods a bit.
Not saying I'm trusting you either. But you are clearly not who I saw just the other day. So I will not hesitate to kill you if you are indeed lying. Or if the necromancer is your master, whatever the circumstance. So again, this is not a true kindness. And I'm going to give him a little bit of water from my water skin.
Okay. And he struggles to drink it, but he does get a couple sips in before he hands it back to you.
I'll help him a little bit. Like, I don't know if he's just like struggling to sit up, but I'll kind of like help hold him a little bit, I guess.
Okay.
And then I will leave him there and I'll go back inside.
Okay. And like as you leave him, he kind of collapses back down onto the ground. You can hear him breathing heavily. Now, while all of this wonderful sight is going on in the barn, there's a bit of conversation going on between the guards of the keep and everything, making jokes about working over the necromancer and bringing one more of their kind to justice, and how they wish that they could live back in the days of the old Templar orders, or be in service of the Templar order, snuffing out evil magic as it showed its ugly head. But Lancel kind of like shoots them a very heavy glare, and it shuts them up. And they kind of like apologize, and they, for the rest of the meal, they begin to like they keep their heads down, kind of like trying to avoid his gaze.
I'm going to scan the room. By the way, I forgot to mention before, I left Saran back there to kind of guard the front.
Okay.
Just kind of watch him.
So before you walk in, is like, what were the rest of you doing during the during what was happening in the barn?
Which end of the table is Lancel at? It's this one right here, right?
Mm-hmm. Here, I'll bring up the map again so everyone can see.
I am going to kindly and quietly suggest that this guard right here switch seats with me.
And after that glare, he is more than willing to do so. He just like, yes, please be my guest, miss.
Shuffle myself over. Give Lancel a little bit of a wink as I move over.
He gives you a friendly smile as he continues to eat. So I take it
quietly continue eating. Yeah.
I take it that all of you know how to ride on horseback.
More or less. Well, I can only speak for myself, of course.
Actually, do I? I have no idea if I've ever ridden a horse.
That's up to you. That's completely up to you. You like, if you want Ross to be somebody who's never, sat on a horse before, that is completely up to you.
I'm going to defer to the BioWare guru. What are the chances?
Sure. I mean, if you want, it's just like he said, if you wanted to or not.
All right, cool.
They're capable of riding horses. It's just you could choose not to.
I just don't know how common they are back in their homeland.
You just have to have a big horse because you're a big guy.
Mm-hmm. You would need like a Clydesdale size horse.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Rosa, it's not a new title.
Wait, what's that?
The BioWare guru. It's not a new title.
Oh no, it's been a title for a few years. I pride myself on it. Thank you. It's been an honor. Back to the game.
Yeah, Zora was almost the DM of this show, but she wanted to play, so
She had like 3 characters made before we even finished agreeing that we're gonna do the show.
yeah.
Hey, I'm planning on, eventually maybe doing a One Piece one shot being the DM, and depending on how Rojan feels, maybe I'll DM the next Mass Effect. I don't know. We'll see.
No, see, if we ever do Mass Effect, you are DMing it.
Okay.
Because I want to be the one that punches the reporters.
Okay.
That's what you have to do in Mass Effect.
You have to wait till game 2, though.
I don't know what you're talking about. I punched them every time I saw them. And headbutted them.
I'm getting a weird Borderlands 2 Tiny Tina DLC crossover with Mass Effect. I punch him.
I punched the initiative.
Oh my god, that's right.
So he's like, now that you mention it, I don't know if we have anything for someone of your size. Odmar, thank you for the follow. Welcome on in. But we can maybe find one for you.
It's okay. I'm fairly used to walking.
If anything, we could hook up a wagon to one of the horses. That's way you're not lagging behind.
Appreciate it.
Raven, you're muted.
Am I really?
You were.
A wagon sounds like a wonderful idea.
Can you ride a horse, Magnus?
Wagon
if we
sounds like a
have
wonderful.
a wagon is fine, but just out of curiosity, if a horse was in front of you and it's the only means of transportation other than walking, could you mount it and ride it around, or?
I'm sure I'm more than capable of doing so. I just choose not to.
But have you?
Do you think they're just common everywhere? Everybody has a horse? No.
Well, in my family, surely, yes. We have dozens of horses.
And we do have spare horses for those of you who wish to ride them.
She kind of leans into Lancel. Maybe a pony for the dwarf? They're a little smaller, right?
We don't have ponies. Only horses.
It's unfortunate. Perhaps we can get him one in Denerim.
Maybe. But that's all up to the gentleman if he wishes to have a pony.
I don't see a need.
Well, there you go.
Suit yourself, Magnus.
And it's at this time that Estia comes walking into the
Valentha.
Close.
I'm sorry, Valentha comes walking into the main room of the keep.
Ready to join us, are you?
And I just stay quiet and I scan all the different guards and just see if I see anything suspicious, like they're just being extra quiet. They look shaky and suspicious, just kind of getting a good read on the ones that are around the table.
You can give me another empathy roll for that one. Oh, damn.
Yes, I see everything.
So as you walk in, Lancel gives you a very kind smile and a nod, and the two guards that you previously ran into last night give you a very polite nod as they go back to eating. But you can notice that the one that is sitting next to Ross is kind of like keeping his face hidden and like away from you as he's just like continuing to eat his meal. And like there's just something about him that's off-putting. Like the other two of them seem to be relaxed, seem to be, you know, just enjoying their morning. Lancel seems to be Lancel.
Lancel.
I mean, he's sitting a little closer to Estia than normal, but he doesn't seem to be hiding anything. But the one sitting next to Ross is at unease at the moment, and you could see that on his hands. There are like impact bruises and cuts on his knuckles, as if he's been hitting something for a very long time.
Do I recall any facial features maybe from the necromancer when I saw him the other day?
No, his face was hidden over like a very heavy cowl. Though you did notice his hands were very, very gaunt and very pale like. This guard's hands look to be rather strong, and his skin is that of somebody who's been in the sun for a bit. This looks like he's just been punching something for like a couple hours. And you do remember that while you were out in the courtyard last night, you did hear something making contact against flesh repeatedly.
Mm-hmm. Does he look like he's a not newer recruit, but a bit of a greenhorn compared to less seasoned in the military, let's say? Kind of like a private, maybe lower end of the totem?
he like there's nothing on his armor that shows that he's of any sort of a lower rank, but he doesn't hold himself like the other two guards. While the other two guards are low ranking, they still hold themselves with like a sense of pride. He right now is kind of holding himself like he's trying to stay out of sight, almost as if there's a bit of guilt weighing down on him.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna reach for some food, like some bread or something, off the table and kind of lean back against the wall while I eat it. How'd it go with the prisoner? And like out of the corner of my eye, I'm trying to have in my peripheral so I could see his reaction.
Okay. And Lancel looks up to you, almost with like a very apologetic look in his eye. Unfortunately, he did not give me anything. The only report that I got was from Rogers here, who said that he was bragging last night about what I said previously. You were not here, about him being the next great necromancer in this shithole of a realm. By the time that I got to questioning him, that flare had left. So much more will leave him once we are done with breakfast and we do a formal execution. Why do you ask?
Backtracking a little bit, when I saw the elf, did he have similar hands to the necromancer?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Right. I was just curious. It was very hard to see under his hood. Was the necromancer just a shem like you all?
And Lancel shakes his head. Like, no, I apologize. And then the guard off to the side was a dirty knife here.
I kind of give him a look like, the fuck?
Yeah, you heard me.
Got a problem with knife ears, I assume?
Ones that practice magic. Dark magic at that.
You do know that there's very few of us that actually know magic, right?
Doesn't make no difference to me. I was the bloody necromancer. Beat it out of myself.
Does he look like he's trying to be stoic about it, like he's trying to hide his...
Oh no, he very proudly says this.
What an asshole.
Kind of like the questioning or like him coming forward has given him some sort of confidence, whereas he was trying to hide his guilt before. He is now just brimming and overflowing with confidence that he beat the confession out of this elf that he was a necromancer.
Is it all mages that you're so bitter towards?
Don't trust magic, but I don't like dark magic. Not a fan of mages, but the ones who aren't blood drinkers or corpse fuckers, I'm fine with.
I give a very quick, subtle, like, glance over to Asthea, like, oh. I look back.
She's got her eyes kind of narrowed at this guy. A little subtly, but it's there.
Oh. Well, you should be quite proud of yourself. That's not the necromancer in there.
What are you talking about? Of course it's the necromancer.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Shem ears aren't quite as large as ours, so I'll speak louder and slower. That's not the necromancer in there.
He kind of looks at you and he looks over at the other guards and over to Lancel, who are like Lancel giving him a questioning look. What you mean? Of course it's the necromancer. He admitted it. We caught him red-handed. He was over a damn corpse.
It's not the same one. I think you got yourself caught in a little bit of a switcheroo here.
Switch with my ass. That's the necromancer.
I'm sorry, I didn't pay attention yesterday. The leader, you, Lentil,
Lancel.
something?
Lancel,
Lancel.
miss. Yes.
Perhaps you would like to come with me for a moment.
He kind of like looks over at Rogers. You're sure, boy, that this is a necromancer? Yep, Captain. Definitely sure.
What did your necromancer look like? And don't say knife ear. I want facial features, skin textures, markings, anything.
Don't know. Didn't know he was one of you until we started smacking him around in the barn.
Oh, your attention to detail is astonishing. Lancel, if you please.
If you will excuse me. And he kind of, when he says that, he kind of like gives a glance over to Esthea as he stands up and he begins to walk out towards the barn with Valenta, kind of shooting a look over to Rogers. And once Lancel leaves, everyone else can see kind of almost a look of worry come across Rogers' eyes.
And which one is Rogers? Is it this guy here?
Yeah, it's the one sitting next to Ross.
I'm going to
Okay.
put my plate down and just not draw anything, but very intently, just my attention's on that guy now.
Okay. And
I like creating a scene
as
in a different way from Esthea.
as Lancel walks out, like, are you sure that's not the necromancer?
You seem like a man that pays attention to his surroundings. The man you caught last night, what did he look like?
I caught the features of an elf after we had tied him up and put him on the back of the horse. Though we had no reports to go off of what the necromancer previously looked like, he was rummaging over a corpse when we came across him. So we apprehended him. After Rogers gave me the report that the man confessed, I assumed that we had done our due diligence. But you're now saying this is not true.
Tell me something. When they found this man, did he look like he was just looting the bodies? Or did it look like he was casting a spell of sorts?
I'm sort of ashamed to say that they shot first and asked questions later. Emotions were running high at the time. There were undead about and a necromancer around.
Oh, I know. We were quite literally in the fray. So, you don't know me, I don't know you, but there is one thing I can tell you. That when it comes to things like this, I don't lie, and I'm all about information.
I wouldn't assume that you were lying anyway. You've given me no reason to suspect you.
Then allow me to say this. Though I wasn't able to see the necromancer clearly last night, I did take note of some details about him. And that man that you have beaten nearly to death in there does not resemble the same features as the necromancer.
What features are we talking about?
Well, for one, he seems a bit thinner and his hands are not as pale. Even with a robe, a necromancer still needs his hands to cast spells.
Indeed.
And they were not as dark as his.
As he walks over, as he's walking along with you as you're saying this, and as he pushes open the door, he kind of looks back at you. It seems that our friend has vanished.
Sauron, come on!
And Sauron looks at you, and looks inside and kind of gives a whimper. And you can see that there's a very clear blood trail leading out the back through one of the back windows of the barn.
Oh, he's spry. I am going to follow it.
Okay, so as this is going on, those of you inside are given kind of a startle as the as Rogers kind of gets up rather quickly and begins to make his way towards the back door here.
I will stand in his way.
So you just like get up in his way.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna touch him, but it's gonna be one of these. It's like
And
you don't get to go.
he stops and he looks up at you, kind of squinting his eyes. Out of my way, Kunari. I have business I need to attend to.
When your captain comes back, he can tell you what your business is.
Like hell. You have no right to impede me. Now stand aside.
I'm rather comfortable right here, thank you.
Kind of looks up over he looks over at the other two, and they kind of just give him a shrug as they just go back to eating.
You do you, dude.
So this is how it's gonna be.
It doesn't have to be anything. You can sit back down, continue enjoying your meal.
I need to piss, and now you're stopping me from going outside.
The bathroom isn't through here.
What's bathroom?
The privy, sorry.
Well, it's not in here. Now allow me to pass. Pixelated Soul, thank you for the host. Or are you afraid I'm going to beat another innocent necromancer out back? Step aside, Kunari. I have nothing wrong. I have nothing against you, and I wish not to shed your blood.
I'd like to see you try.
I would love to try, but I am under orders not to harm you, as you are invited guests of the king.
Then it sounds like you'll have to find another way.
He kind of grumbles, and it looks like he's going to go back to his seat, and then he makes a bolt out the back here.
I'm right after him.
I'm following him.
All right. And like you see that he just gets to the edge and he just jumps off.
I'm still following him. I jumped off this roof yesterday. I can do it again today.
All right, so you guys just jump off here.
Yep. I'm gonna try and jump like right onto him.
I'm going to try to grapple him.
Okay, so
If I had any opportunity to grab him before he jumped, I would have taken it. But I can understand if you want him to make
yeah,
it.
he had a little bit of a head start to be able to jump off the edge. So if you want to dive on him with Astia, you can try.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Watch,
So
this whole time the man really just needed to piss.
so go
Oh,
ahead.
he's out to.
Go ahead and give me it's gonna be strength. Both of you can go ahead and give me strength rolls, and he will roll a contest against both of you. I'm gonna roll it twice. Oh, oh, wow! It rolled the same thing both times. All right, so 6.
I've got
11,
climbing and intimidation on strength.
all right,
Can I use
so
anything like that here.
no, this isn't really climbing. This is just just like grappling. You're just trying to grab a hold of him. So 6, 11, 13, 4, 7, 9, 10. Okay, so both of you leap into the air, and as you're coming down on top of him, you kind of collide with one another, allowing him to get away as he begins to slide down the what do you call it? The side of the cliff, or of like the little face right there.
So when I'm coming around the side to check the back window, do I hear or see any of this?
I was actually about to try to yell out.
And I was gonna whistle for Durinius. So.
Yeah, so you hear three things, Estia, or not Estia, Valenta. You hear a very loud belting whistle, and then you hear a familiar whistle that you know is Estia calling for Durinius, and then you hear Ross yelling something out. Ross, what is it that you yell out?
Valenta, we've got a runner.
And as you hear, we got a runner, you hear the belting whistle, and then hoofbeats. As you notice that underneath here, as you're looking out the back window, you see a horse coming out from underneath there as it was like tucked away, as it begins to run towards the guard.
Can I use my climbing to try to get down there quickly?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a roll.
Dragon.
I whistle while that's happening. I'm whistling for Saran to start chasing, and I get out my bow and I start taking aim and
like this, like while all this is going on, Lancel runs up next to you. He's like, "What are you doing? What is going?" And he sees the horse running out, and he sees Rogers with like a panicked look on his face. Make her above. And
I don't think he's so innocent.
No. Not if he's acting like this. As he brings up a whistle, and he blows it, and when that happens, Magnus, you notice that the two guards that were sitting at the table jump up and begin to run out the front door.
As soon as I hear that whistle, I'm going to get to my feet, and I'm going to stay where I am, but I'm going to prepare myself and get ready with an arcane lance for when that horse comes within my range.
Okay. So before we start any of this off, let's go ahead and take our second break for the night, because we are about 10 minutes over as we're setting the scene up here.
We're just like, get him!
Everyone kill him!
Kill him! Kill him!
Oh, I don't want to kill him.
So
I just want to kill his horse.
I want to kill him.
So we're gonna go ahead and take that quick 5-minute break, guys, and when we come back, we will get on with this pursuit. But stick with us, guys. What's up?
Do I get stunt points for those doubles there?
Oh, you already rolled the climbing. Yes, you will.
Yeah.
You will get stunt points for that. So
And which stunt points would those fall under?
You're trying to do that to apprehend him, correct?
So combat?
It will be combat, yes. So go ahead
Awesome.
and look over the combat sheet as we're on our break, and then we'll find out what you do.
All right, cool.
All right. right, we are back. So let's go ahead and kick this off with Ross using his stunt points here. Wait, give me a second, because he does get to make an opposed roll here. Damn, he got 4 stunt points.
Jesus. Also, Rojan, I sent you a message in the Discord DMs in case you didn't see that.
And I just sent you a message back.
Oh, did you? Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Why am I not hearing my alerts?
So, Ross, you slide down this cliff face and you leap at him, and it looks like you're gonna like just full on football tackle him all around the waist, but in like a surprising sense of agility. What the hell? I am doubled up. I'm now Zorro.
Psh, girl, you wish you were me.
Pixelated Soul, thank you for catching that. In like some sort of weird sense of agility, he jumps up and leaps off, like plants his feet on Ross's shoulders and leaps off of him as he slings himself on top of the horse as it passes by, as he begins to ride off.
Really?
Yeah. Only because he beat you in the contest.
Do I get my shot at the horse when it comes within my range?
You can definitely take a shot at the horse.
Didn't realize the horse was right there. Okay.
Where is my lance? There it is.
4, 6, 11, 12, 14. That will strike the horse.
Take this, you damn horse.
Oof. Okay, so as the horse is running by, it slams into the flank here of the horse. I'm gonna make a dexterity check here for Rogers.
And I would like to throw some knives at him.
Jesus, he is just making all these attempts as he like the horse kind of buckles for a moment, but he stays saddled on as he continues to ride off. Volantha, you had your arrow knocked. Did you want to take a shot?
Why, yes, I would like to.
Okay.
I forgot which one I have to roll to do this. So let me. Nope, that's not it. But put a +2 on top of that.
Are you going after him, or are you going after the horse?
I'm going after him.
Okay, that will strike.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm just testing something real quick. Oh, okay, I have to click that to take aim. Okay, all right, never mind. Canceling that out. Boop, boop.
All right, so you let the arrow fly and it slams into his back, like the back part of his right shoulder. And he flinches in pain as he falls off the horse and takes like a rather rough tumble as the horse continues to ride off.
That's what I wanted. All right.
So he kind of
Get him, boys!
He kind of takes a tumble right there. You can go ahead and give me another D6 damage for the fall.
Sweet.
And I'm right after him.
All right. So he's kind of now laying there, slow to get up. But Ross, you're able to get over there and get your hands on him, before he can react to anything.
Is he pulling anything? Is he trying to do anything other than just stand up? Which of course I will try to stop as well.
At the moment, you don't really see anything because he's face down. But but from the looks of it, it doesn't look like he had any weapons on him since he was just coming in for morning breakfast, so he wouldn't need the use of his weaponry.
Let's see here. I was right there, right?
Yeah,
so
and then you move down on top of him, and as
I
you're
actually want to move, try to cut him off from
Okay.
this escape. But yeah, I'll try to keep him pinned or keep him down.
Oh yeah, and you're easily doing it. You're kind of like applying a little bit of pressure to the arrow that's in his shoulder, kind of like anytime he tries to fight it, you kind of just add a little bit of pressure to it to stop him from moving.
And I'm watching his hands.
Oh, you know what? I know why the camera was all messed up. Because I had chat open. Because I just saw the text bleeding through on the map screen. But Lancel and the two other guards walk forward, all of them with their blades in their hands. And, like, once he gets to here, he kind of eyes you, and he looks at Rogers, and he just shakes his head. He's like, "Sir, take the scum out of my sight. Tie him up in the barn. We'll deal with him later."
Stop putting people with the horses, man. And if it turns around, and if we ever lock eyes, I'm just giving him a smile, and I kind of like raise an eyebrow, like, yeah, take that for the knife here. Just that cocky, like, yeah, bitch.
So are you taking him back to the barn, Ross?
Oh, he was speaking to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna see if do any of your men have any shackles or any restraint?
And the gentleman back here is like, "Yep, I got some," and he just throws it on over to you.
Put them on. Grab him by the scruff of the neck and hoist him up and force him along.
That is a very comfortable looking cat. I like how this entire time Magnus has just been sitting there eating.
Magnus is not
Down
dealing with
again.
it today.
It is too early in the morning for this bullshit.
By the way, once I see that he's doing good, and I do the whole eye contact, haha, then I'm going to turn my attention back to the blood trail and start following it before the guy gets too far.
Yeah, and Lancel is right with you.
Cool.
And he looks over to Astia as the two of you begin to walk down here. He's like, "Miss, would you be inclined to help us as well? I can use the help of you and your companions locating our mistakenly identified necromancer."
I mean, I alone could do this. This is actually...
I would be more than happy to help you, Lancel.
No offense, Esthea, as I was going to say, because I'm much faster on my own and I'm perfectly capable as well as has the skill set.
Yes, but the captain asked for my assistance.
She just like very obviously rolls her eyes and just turns around and starts tracking.
Esthea kind of looks around and sees that the ledge to the stairs over here is like precariously close to the cliffside, and she's like, is there another way down by any chance?
Well, you could try balancing over to the stairs, or you can attempt climbing down that way. Or if you wish, you can just walk around the outside of the perimeter of the keep. You could stay here if Valentha thinks she can track on her own.
No, I'll help. Perhaps you can meet me on the stairs. Give me a hand.
Am I passing under, like, right underneath her as this is happening?
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm shoving Rogers along, I go, "I'll catch you."
Not a chance, brute.
Shove.
Shove. And the two other guards, one stays like they both stay inside of the barn, keeping an eye on Rogers. All right, so Esthea, you make it down without an issue. I'm not even gonna make you roll for this.
Aww.
I do want to wait to see if the captain's going to come up the stairs. I'm
He-
playing
he-
dainty
he-
right
he
now.
comes up
Oh
and
God, damsel in distress.
he comes up and he does assist you.
And she
Belinda,
like
go while you can.
stretches her arms out, reaching for his hand, and just barely holds on to it as she inches over to the stairs. Like she knows she's putting on a show, but I don't know if anyone else knows.
I think the
Oh, other people know.
Well, okay, I don't know if the captain knows.
None of the specific, the guards, everyone
If
else.
if he knows, he isn't showing it. It's just like as if he's just it's almost as if he's going through the steps as like he's been trained to treat people of a higher standing than him with more respect. And you did identify yourself as royalty. So, Valantha, you can go ahead and give me a tracking roll with a +3, seeing as how there is a blood trail.
Is it
Perception.
is it actual tracking?
It is tracking.
Damn it. Okay.
Before you make that roll, since I'm actually like straight up trash at doing that sort of stuff on my own, can I just aid her in her roll for like an extra +1 or something?
No, the plus like the +3 is the highest you can go with.
Gotcha.
The a +3 is like pretty much being given advantage.
Oh shit.
Okay.
I was hoping this would be a searching.
So you begin to follow the trail, and then you stop as you notice that it splits off into 2 sections at one point.
That's weird. I will whistle for Saran to go in one direction and I'll go the other.
Okay. Do you send him to the right or the left?
I will send him to the right.
All right. And he kind of just begins to bolt off and sniff around the grass, trying to follow the trail as you begin to lead Lancel and Estia down the left path. So you can give me
the first time I've had a bad roll for that, man.
Yeah, that's dangerous, seeing as you're the one that
Ooh.
seems to lead everybody through everything.
Yeah, but I mean, not bad. We're on what episode now? 14, and this is the first time I've had a bad one. So okay. Whew, it's not good.
Surprised
Okay.
it was actually 2 dwarves in an elf costume.
Damn it, Fox.
5 kobolds in a trench coat.
Yes.
Okay, so do I need to do a roll again for both me and Saran?
Just for you.
Okay. Oh, thank God.
There you go.
And I got stunt points.
All right, so you pick up the trail once again,
Okay.
and it takes about 15 minutes to find him.
Okay.
But he's like, you find the 3 of you finally come across the scene as he's kind of leaning against a tree, kind of slumped over, not really moving.
I'm going to check to see if he's still living.
Give me a healing roll.
Was cunning?
Yes, it's cunning.
It was cunning. Okay, that's not bad. Not bad.
You don't really feel much of a pulse. It's very weak.
Hmm.
And Lancel and Estia catch up to you probably about a minute later, as Lancel kneels next to you, and he reaches out and he brushes the hair out of the elf's eyes, and he kind of sighs and shakes his head. This man's blood is on my hands.
He still
he actually
breathes.
dead, or
I would ask you to heal him, but I know what happened last time I did that.
As Lancel shakes his head, he's like, I doubt the healing will do anything. He's passing as we speak.
And how long have you known? I'm sorry, I don't even want to remember his name, nor do I. The other man. The one that
Rogers.
started to flee.
He was a new recruit. He's maybe been under my command for a month.
Oh, I see. Was he the one that actually spotted the necromancer?
No, that was Jarvis. That was one of my other men. He said he spotted the necromancer and took a shot.
You did say shoot first, ask questions later.
They are young.
Stupid.
That is a curse of youth. But that's not the time. This is nor the time nor the place to talk about that. As he like reaches over and he feels like, again, he puts his hand on the neck of the elf, and he kind of shakes his head, and then he like takes his thumb and he brushes it slightly against the forehead of the elf, and you notice that he speaks in Dalish as he gives like a soft almost like a soft prayer of sending for the deceased elf.
I narrow my eyes suspiciously.
And then like he just picks the elf's body up in his arms.
There's no need for that.
We should at least clean him.
What he needs is to be one with the earth.
Agreed.
Here will do fine.
He looks around. Oh, there is at least a tree here.
He needs to be next to it.
He nods and he lays the elf down, and he takes out a cloth with like some water, and he begins to at least clean some of the blood off of him.
While he's doing that, I'm going to try to grab a decent size branch, obviously one of the thinner branches, with some of the leaves and stuff on it, and just try to break one off.
You're easily able to do this.
And I'll just wait.
While they're preparing the body, what are you doing?
I'm just kind of standing in the background, out of their way. Let's do this because I haven't done it yet today. Just gonna throw on my daily armor.
That's
just
why not.
It's there's a dead body. Better throw on some earth.
I mean, you never know.
We've dealt with dead bodies.
But yeah, aside from that, I'm just standing off to the side, waiting until they're finished.
Okay. I have to ask, Magnus, what have you been doing this entire time?
Eating eggs, bitch!
Magnus wasn't moving until he was done breakfast.
Okay, so
Just feeding doggo.
does he
You
eat
had
off
a
of,
rough day yesterday. You deserve it.
does he eat off of other people's plates and stuff as like everyone left?
Nope. But the guy that bolted, that plate went onto the floor for Steinbeck.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. So I'll say by the time that Ross drags Rogers back through the barracks towards the barn is when you're finished with breakfast.
Is there any bacon left?
Oh, well, since I hear them, I'm going to wander out front. No, we just fed his food to Steinbeck. I see you caught him. He
Yes.
doesn't look like the necromancer.
Seems we have a mystery to solve.
Why did you run?
And kind of, he gives you a look, but he doesn't say anything, just scowling at the two of you.
Okay, hold on. I got something for this.
Doesn't he still have an arrow stuck out of him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he does. Give me 1 second here.
You're like, oh, I know whose that is.
I'm going to lean in really close and you should answer my friend's question. And I'm going to reach around behind him and take the broken shaft of the arrow and twist it.
Okay. You've got 6 roleplay points to spend on that if you want.
Is that our first 20 of the game?
I think so.
That's a little ridiculous. But at least he'll talk now.
I don't know which one of these would be the best to use.
The one that makes him squeak.
I think you can, if I remember right in the past, if there's nothing on there specifically, you could technically make one up.
Yep.
Within reason.
Yeah, within reason. You've got 6 points, so you've got a lot to work with. So if there's like some sort of roleplay stunt that you want to do for like a better persuasion or something to like break his spirit or something like that, I would allow it.
Oh, I definitely want his spirit to be broken. I want him to spill absolutely everything. Why he targeted the elf, why he just everything. Anything I can get, I want it.
Why
Okay.
he was a horrible child.
He just starts going into like his entire traumatic childhood history and everything.
Why did elves hurt you?
It all started when I was 7 years old.
So he gives out like a very high-pitched squeal as you just begin to twist that arrow in his shoulder. And you could see that his jaw is clenching and like beads of sweat begin to form on his forehead, begin to run down his face. And he finally just cracks. He's like, fine. I'll stop twisting. I'll tell you everything.
There are the other guards in here as well,
Yep.
right? So it's not just me and Magnus to witness this.
Yeah, Jarvis and the other guard are there as well.
And I take it they're not doing anything to stop this.
Oh no, they're standing there just watching this happen, not even batting an eye to the interrogation that is going on. Almost as if this is what do you call it? Normal for them. This is just basic. So what is it that you ask him, seeing as how he's saying that he'll answer your questions?
Why did you falsify the confession?
We needed a damn necromancer. We caught a knife here. Figured 2 birds, 1 stone.
Thought you might put a feather in your cap.
You could say that. Damn knife ears are a plague on our realm.
Glad Valentin's not here.
As 3 more arrows just somehow find their way in his back.
It's like all of a sudden I just whistled and the arrows were like I've seen this somewhere in a movie one time.
Why run? You could have just said you were mistaken.
Doesn't go like that here. Captain would have known I was lying. Had to leave. Didn't want to be here to begin with. Force service.
How so?
I was caught by the Dinnerham guard. Punishments for my crime. either serve time in their jails or serve time in service of the city. I chose the latter.
Criminal becoming the protectors. What was your crime?
Theft.
I think you're still hiding something. You were ready to leave.
Yeah. Always have a plan. Just in case things went south here or found a way to get out of here when they weren't looking. I was willing to attempt my escape.
Magnus,
We'll wait for I can't remember his name for some reason. Oh my lord.
Lancel?
Lancel. Wait for Captain Lancel to come back and he can ask you the questions.
And the guard that's closest to you, Magnus, he leans in, is like, Captain ain't gonna ask him any questions. If I were still a betting man, I would assume that old Rogers here is gonna be bound in shackles and gagged and taken for a ride with us to Denerim, where he can answer for his crime.
Well, considering he was already a criminal to begin with.
Yep, things don't look good for old Raj. We're just gonna have to keep an eye on him since he's slippery.
Now, the better question, and I turn around to the other two, did either of you know that that wasn't the necromancer?
No. We went off Raj's report. He was the one who was doing the interrogation. He said that the necromancer confessed. Honestly, until now, we had no reason to doubt him. Yes, he was brought here on a punishment, but until this incident, he was being a basic soldier.
So that means we still have a necromancer out there, potentially raising more undead to do his bidding.
I didn't think of that. But yes, you're right. We do have a necromancer out there. Close by, probably.
And probably laughing that we went to all the trouble to interrogate this other person while he got away.
Probably a good thing we're not going to kill Raj then, because then he would probably just raise Raj to fight us.
True.
So,
Ross, did you have any other more questions for him?
I've never really liked talking to scum before.
you're
In
one
that
to
case-
talk, Kunari. Your people are another blight on this land.
I look to one of them. Do either of you have a strip of cloth?
And you just hear, you see Jarvis just ripping off, just a spare piece of cloth. He just hands it to you.
Good, because this is going to hurt.
And to his comment, I say, perhaps we are a blight to some, but I've never lied about a kill, and I've never killed an innocent.
I take the cloth, kind of roll it a couple times, jam it in Roger's mouth. You might want to remove the arrow.
When you say that, when you say that, his eyes just go wide as he starts shaking his head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take out this arrow in just the most god awful way possible.
Okay.
Are you pulling the fletchings through?
Are you pulling it out or are you
Well-
pushing it through?
What you're supposed to do is push it through.
Oh, you're supposed
I'm
to
going
break
to
it and
pull
push
it
it
out.
through. Okay.
I'm going to pull it out.
Okay. So as you pull it out, since you twisted it inside, you just pull out like a large chunk of meat that's wrapped around the arrowhead, and Rogers just gives this god awful scream in like into the gag that's in his mouth, and he ends up passing out from the pain.
And I'm going to take a spare piece of cloth and I'm going to shove it in the hole.
Okay.
And I'm going to turn to one of the other guards and say, when he wakes up, you might want to cauterize that.
And they
When he wakes up.
and again, as you do that, they show no like senses like any sense of camaraderie to him. They just stand there and they watch it. So while all of that is going on, back over at the tree, the body has now been cleaned and prepared as best as Lancel could do that, or could make do with what he had.
I'll as soon as he's done, I'll come up to the head of the elf, and I'll jam the piece of the tree right above him, and I'll just kind of close my eyes, tilt my head, and I start saying softly but out loud, I go, Falandin NSL Atishal, Fanharal Aligila. And then I just kind of touch his forehead and then get up and walk away.
And as you say that, you hear Lancel mimic it as well. And it's not like a human trying to be intelligent and like tripping over it, but it's like perfect enunciation of the Dalish language.
Okay, I'll wait till we're all walking together.
Okay. And he begins to walk back, or after you've done the ceremony thing, he begins to walk off towards the back towards the keep, kind of at like a solemn pace.
I'll catch up with him. You know our ways.
Yes.
Are you half?
No, my lover was Dalish. She passed. Well, passed is putting it kindly. She was taken from me. From us.
So she could still be alive?
No, when I say taken, I mean she is dead.
Ah.
We were ambushed by a group of mages. We fought as hard as we could, but in the end, she fell.
Is that where this came from?
Yes.
You have my sympathies. I am sorry for your loss.
It's not something I wanted to see again. Especially when it's an innocent who is taken.
Well, not to sound cold, but you better nut up about it, because with the blight here, there's going to be a lot of death until something is done.
Oh, do not do not worry. This will not stop me from my duty. If anything, it strengthens it.
Well, that's good. But you do know something that's actually quite troubling about all this.
What is that?
The necromancer's still out there.
That thought has crossed my mind.
And as much as I would love to maybe hunt down and kill the bastard, not really at the top of my shit list right now. I'd rather go to Denerim as soon as we get back.
I agree. Denerim is a top priority. And as much as I share your want to snuff this necromancer out, the Blight kind of takes top position on our, as you say, shit list.
Our plan was to reach the edge of the Brazilian forest and then head northward towards Denerim. How did you plan us to get there?
Taking one of our roads. One of our military roads.
That's just a very nice way of saying a back road.
Well, it is indeed a back road, but it is only used by the Denerim military.
Is it near the Brazilian forest?
Along it, yes, but nothing that would invade the forest itself.
All right. Then I assume we proceed as soon as we get back.
Indeed, and after I've had some choice words with Rogers.
Can I kill him?
No, unfortunately, his blood is, well, reserved for the headsman back in Denerim.
You know, we still have almost a week's journey ahead of us, and not only is he a waste of meat, we'll be wasting meat on him.
I am aware, but I am bound by my duty, and I must follow the protocol for traitors such as this.
These shems make no sense. And I'll just walk on.
As he kind of nods, like she has said the same thing multiple times.
I just keep walking.
Okay. So I think we can go ahead and take our third break for the night here before everyone gets ready to make the journey towards Denerim once again, now in tow of a prisoner and with 3 brand new friends.
Okay, so guys, chat. Votes now. How long will this band of guys last before we burn them alive?
You use the term "we" very loosely.
Because Asthea likes to include all of us, like a royal we.
Who's going to be the next Jimmy?
I give it 3 days.
Half the week, really?
I
Well-
give it maybe a day and a half too.
If we're going by tradition, the next Jimmy will be the guy that took an arrow from Valenta.
It's true.
Well, we're okay with that guy.
We're okay with that though.
Yeah,
we're
because-
okay with that. He's a
because
racist asshole.
Yeah, honestly, Jimmy was innocent. This guy kind of deserves it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jimmy was awkward, but innocent.
This guy was an asshole. Straight up asshole.
Yeah. So you can't really call him the next Jimmy if, like, you know, he deserves a couple arcane lances to the face.
The next Jimmy is if we had deja vu and I said, hey, can you heal this elf? And then you kill him. Then that's the next Jimmy.
Try to heal him, somehow arcane lance accidentally goes off.
Accidentally.
Esthea sneezes, casts the wrong spell.
I prematurely set it off.
Captain Lancel's gonna be the next one to die.
Oh God.
The one good guy out of that group, he's gonna be the one that dies.
It's gonna be like Game of Thrones, man, where it's like, oh, this guy's actually a good guy. Nope.
Well,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
dead.
Captain
It's
Lance.
not that he's
by
the
Sean
good
Bean.
guy. It's that he's a great guy. Great guys die.
He's
Just-
one of the honorable ones, and he's gonna die.
As long as he doesn't look like Sean Bean, we're okay.
Oh, but
I mean, if I could do a Sean Bean accent, I would totally make him like sound and look like Sean Bean, but I can't.
You can make him sound like Sean Connery.
No, I can't.
A different Sean.
You're asking me to do again. You're asking me to do accents.
We're heading north to Denerim.
Tell me of this Scotland.
What is this haggis?
God damn it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and take a break now.
Sorry.
I am a Spaniard,
We'll be
folks.
back in about 5 minutes, guys.
What is this haggis? I'm a Spaniard.
All right, we are back.
Hi.
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 Hello.
So,
Hell. What's up with your camera? Like everything, like your camera, like everything below the map and everything is just this bright white. And
that's because that's a wall.
Okay. So the shadows are fucking with me.
Yeah, unfortunately, until I can get my own my desk, buy a desk and not be in the kitchen where this table wobbles and shakes my camera and this horribly blank canvas because I'm all about color. This is what we have to do.
Okay. Yeah, because I was like, wait a second, is that like a screen malfunction?
No, that's the wool.
That's the
We
wool.
could set up your green screen right behind you.
That's why I actually put this up here because it was so white and blank. I'm like, I need to fill some space. This is just, it was driving me insane. So I was like, all right, I need a filler.
We could set up your green screen right behind you.
No, I would be right up. Nah, it's cool. But then you couldn't see my map of Thetis and all my other cool shit.
It's
If
missing
you
a red
had a
area
green
of
screen,
fire.
you could just
Yeah.
make map of Thetis your background. Your whole.
You could see the
background.
wheels turning.
Actually, I'm not gonna lie. Being a Dalish elf, I would have like the forest behind me or something.
See, there you go.
Or it's just like a Cullen body pillow or something like that.
Don't give her too many ideas. Come
I
on.
found a video that I could have on loop and repeat, and it's a half naked Alistair and Cullen in the water, and they're doing like this Indian shimmy, like this hip thrust, like.
Nope.
It doesn't violate any like
TOS.
rules. Yeah, totally fine.
It's
And it's
totally
part of a
TOS
video game,
friendly.
therefore the nips are legal.
Diginips.
Diginips.
You heard it here. The nips are legal.
Hashtag diginips legal. Legal diginips.
So you as the
Thanks, Greg.
Valentha and Lancel get back, and they return into the to the barn with the unconscious Rogers, with both Magnus and Ross standing over him, and he Lancel just kind of looks at Rogers disgustingly as he like walks over and just grabs his own horse. It's, one of you shackle him up good, throw him over one of the horses. When he wakes up, we'll make him walk.
Oh, he's still alive.
Yep.
Magnus, I thought you were going to surprise me.
No. However, I don't think he'll be using that shoulder for a while.
Oh, good.
And I'm going to say, this came in handy. And I'm going to toss Valentha the arrowhead attached to what I assume is probably about 4 inches of shaft.
You did surprise me.
So I want to say that in this time, hearing the guard say that he is slippery from before, I would have, this is how I would have bound him. Bags over each hand, and then shackles over the bags, and then shackles above the elbows behind the back.
Okay. It's actually a really good idea.
Shit, that was good.
No, like and that's something I would expect for somebody who's playing a rogue. It's like, so they can't pick the locks.
I could just cut off his fingers.
I mean, that works too.
Just like maybe the two important ones.
His head belongs to the headsman, but his hands belong to us.
Can at least take one hand.
You've never heard of one-handed lockpicking?
With my pinky.
Like one-handed clapping.
What's the sound of one hand picking a lock? So after Rogers is bound and gagged and everything and thrown over the horse. Other horses are brought out. One of them is attached to a cart for Magnus and Ross to ride in. And then they get the idea and they throw Rogers in the back of the cart as well. And they look at the two of you and it's like, if he tries anything, hit him hard.
Magnus looks at his axe. Really?
Keep him alive. Keep him alive. But he tries to run, have fun.
Do we need to return him with all his appendages attached?
It would be preferred.
The more damage we do to them, the more reliant he's going to be.
Fine.
So with that, all of you begin to ride off. Oi. Sorry, she's eating plastic. That's what she does. So I'm gonna do a little favor here for you all y'all. The back roads are pretty much secure that you're taking through the military passages and everything. Every night you're holed up in a strategically dug, almost like foxhole for you to stay in. It gives you cover and everything during the nights. Nothing finds you. You're able to get rest and get up in the next day. And within a week's time, you are now standing upon the streets of Denerim.
Did we just do a writing montage?
You just did a writing montage.
At some point in this journey, I want to kind of pull up next. Well, actually, where in the formation is Valentha kind of positioning herself?
Probably up front.
Okay, so at some point I'm going to pull up beside her and just kind of lean in. Out of curiosity, Valentha, I don't suppose any of you grabbed a sack of money from Mason before we abandoned that caravan? He did say he was going to pay us, but I never saw a single piece of gold from that.
Nope. Well, I mean, technically, I suppose we were paid, but did you feel like you deserved it?
You
Yes.
know the answer to that.
The answer is yes.
How about this? We haven't been able to have the time, nor do I feel comfortable doing it in front of all of these people. We haven't had an opportunity to split it yet. We will give you your share, but I feel like you should take just a little bit less. I feel like we should have some sort of pain compensation.
I feel like the compensation was all of my belongings being taken.
Oh, I gave those back. See? Everything's
You
good.
Gave me back my gauntlets. That's it.
Oh, I thought that's all you had.
No, I had a bag full of goods, which I still have not seen. I had to take what I could from the keep back there.
Question.
Mhm.
I remember I tried searching it before, and I honestly can't remember if I found it or not. Did I find that little vial of like red powder?
No, you did not.
I did not. Okay. All right, you can have your bag. And I'll toss her bag.
Well, I don't actually need it now that I've restocked from the keep. My
Oh.
point was that the compensation that I paid was having my belongings taken.
Well, they're back now. I mean, if you don't want it, I can just strap it to Saran and you can carry some extra things.
We'll discuss this when we get to Denerim.
Sounds good to me.
Why do I have a feeling that like somebody's gonna get sued for gold here? It's my money and I need it now.
Technically, I mean, I have a portion of it, but the majority of it Magnus has. So
I mean, we're going to a city. I need to do some shopping, man.
that's probably fair. I need more health potions too. To pass out to everybody.
Really?
Yeah,
Is that what you need them for?
I am so close to being in the single digits. I can't let that happen.
Jesus.
How
So
dare
close.
you think I could survive on less than 10
I mean, do you
when they're
drink
so
them at all?
cheap?
So I did something for you guys, and I got a little map of Denerim here for you.
Does it come complete with
Oh my god,
description?
you got the map. Yay!
Just bring this up for everyone.
Castle's the way the fuck back there.
Yep, the castle's right here. And you're all
Oh no, wait, that's right. That's the key. Oh, never mind. Castle's actually pretty close. Never mind. I kept thinking the castle's in the back, but that's actually the keep. That's the fortress. Never mind.
yeah.
Cool.
And you're all coming in right here
Yay!
along the West Road.
Yay!
So as you as everyone begins to as you all begin to pull up to the gates of Denerim, the gates themselves remain open. There's a couple more guards than you would expect at the front gate, but they don't seem to be stopping or harassing anyone. It's more just kind of like some sort of security increase. As people pass, they just let them on through. As like they just do give them a quick once over and everything. And once you get up to there, they notice that you are riding with Lancel, and they give him a nod and a salute as he passes by. And one of them approaches him, and like Lancel like lets all like motions for all of you to stop. And looks over and like, Captain Lancel, we didn't expect to see you back for another 2 months. And Lancel looks back and sighs and looks over to the guard. We had an issue we had to deal with, and unfortunately it is going to require a trial. As he looks back over to the cart, as he motions with the still restrained Rogers. We had a traitor in our units who betrayed our trust and soured his honor. I have a feeling the headsman is going to need to make time in his schedule after this one's had the proper military tribunal. Now, what about the rest of them? Guests. They have an appointment with His Majesty. Is he in? Sorry to say, Captain, he's not back yet. He... how to put this? He still has not recovered from his period of mourning. He needed some, what he called personal time. But we do expect to, we do at least expect him back within the week. Lancel gives them a nod. Like, can you take these two? Can you take this one back to the dungeons? I have grown weary of his company. I will see our guests here to an inn before I make my presence known at the barracks. And the guard nods, and they walk over and they take Rogers away. Empa, thank you for that host. And he begins to lead you through the streets of Denerim. Did my Grey Warden die?
Is he mourning for the loss of his beloved?
He's in mourning for something or someone.
Oh.
As Rogers was taken away, did he look at any of us?
Not really. He's kind of kept his head down the entire time.
Won't be the last time his head's down. All right. I'm done with that. Okay.
And instead of taking you through like the common area of Dinnerham, he takes you kind of like through like the higher, I guess, class area. And he puts you up in an inn known as the Unicorn's Horn. Like this will all be paid by the Royal Council, so do not worry. As you are friends of the king, you know, while you are here, no expense is spared. Until His Majesty returns, you have free run of the city. As soon as he is willing to accept guests, a messenger will be brought for you. I, on the other hand, must make haste to the barracks to prepare for the debriefing and Roger's trial.
You said he was in mourning. Who's he mourning for?
I am not sure. This is news to me. As far as I know, everyone in the royal family was in decent health.
Before you go, Captain, I don't suppose there's anything you have on your person or that you can give us that we can carry around the city with us to show the denizens that we're friends of the king. I have been mistaken for someone that I'm not several times in the past, and I would like to avoid that this time around.
Now that you mention it, thank you for reminding me, Astia. There was something I needed to give you. And he walks down and he hands each of you a small signet coin that has the crest of Dinnerham engraved on both sides. Show this to anyone and they will know that you are friends of the king. Now don't go abusing this. This is just to announce your presence.
Of course.
If a guard happens to stop you and tell you that a place is off limits, just show them the coin and they should let you in inside. Sometimes maybe not, depending on where you're trying to get into.
Well, I appreciate everything you've done for us, Captain. And I would ask just one more favor. Don't suppose you have a map of the city or anything? There's a very specific
not on
quest
me
that I would like while I'm here.
Oh, you said dress.
Well, I would like some new clothes tailored, somebody that can repair and perhaps improve my gauntlets for me, and
well, you are
some
in
other
luck.
personal things.
You are in luck. There are a number of clothiers and smiths in the town. If I remember correctly, there is even a dwarven father and son here that seem to specialize in magical items.
Perfect. She kind of steps closer to the captain and leans in so she can speak in a very hushed and quiet voice. I have one other question. Is there anybody in this city that does, how do I put this? Modifications to a person, tattoos and piercings and the like?
I believe there is. You may want to go near the docks for that, as tattoos and whatnot are popular amongst our sailors.
Is there any place with perhaps a little bit more class?
Not that I know of. I'm not one to decorate myself with tattoos or piercings, as both are frowned upon in the military service unless they are of a cultural significance like the Dalish.
Very well. Thank you.
FYI, my ears perked up at tattoos.
But yes, the docks would be the best place to look for if you are looking to mark up your skin.
I appreciate the information.
See, he looks over to the rest of you and he gives you all like a respectful nod as he begins to head off towards the barracks of the royal barracks, I should say, of the castle. So as you guys are now standing in the common room of the Unicorn's Horn, what are your plans as you have the run of the city as you wait for the return of King Alistair from his week of mourning?
I'm turning to the rest of the group. Like, so how about dividing up that pouch?
Magnus.
Yes. Oh, right. Right. I don't think I ever counted how much was in there.
I remember he said, oh, no, wait, no, I don't think we did count.
No, we were in such a hurry, I never bothered counting it.
Yeah,
Nope.
we just know it was a big sack. We just didn't know how much was in it.
Merrick just threw a sack of gold at you and nobody bothered to count it.
Well, no, the regular pay went to the Valenta.
Mm-hmm. No, but the sack of gold.
The sack of it that we kind of came across it afterwards, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You just grabbed it.
Yep, we grabbed it. We didn't even count that.
The normal pay was, what was it, 200 a day?
Did you say 200 a day?
Or
No, it was totally 200 a day.
Yeah,
I think it was like
that sounds
It was totally 200 a day.
No, I'm trying to remember what it was.
I think it was 7 or 8 a day.
7 or 8 a day. That's right.
I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, Magnus will just retire here and now.
I did find a sack of gold earlier too, so that wasn't the bigger sack, but I found quite a bit of coin in that one. But part of that's added to everyone else's that I haven't split yet.
Okay.
And did Magnus and I happen to find any in the blacksmith's cart as well?
You did not find any gold in...
No, we've got the other box of fun.
Yeah.
Yes, I do remember that.
So, in the gold, or in the sack of gold that you hastily grabbed, but did not bother looking in or counting, there is 800 gold inside of it.
That's going to be so hard to split 4 ways. We should use math.
That's 200 each.
I know. I'm doing my dividing right now too. Let's see here.
And then Estia, you said that, not Estia, Valentha, you said that you found another sack of gold.
I did.
That was the one from
There was a hefty amount I found. Valentha will give the whole whopping 4 days worth of payment to everyone, which is 28 gold.
Well, Rosalie, he's not rich at all now. He's dead.
Yeah, right.
Just in all fairness.
To be fair, sorry, go ahead.
In all fairness, Roz only kind of came in towards the tail end. You guys didn't want to split that cash with me.
That's true. Hold on real quick.
Remathing, one moment, please.
I'll still take the 200, but
okay, so instead of the 28, everyone else gets an extra 9.
can't math today at all.
So yeah, so you guys got 37 gold. Oh, plus the 200. I don't think anyone knows about my sack of gold yet that I found. I did not really make that known.
Yeah, I don't
That
think you
was-
told anybody about that.
That was the
so.
one you found with the little critter, wasn't it?
Yeah, with the nug.
Yep.
So
Yep.
in that sack of gold, you find another 250.
Is that a king nug?
No, it was a nug that was stealing things off of bodies.
Everyone knows the king nug is down in the deep roads, okay? And you give him an offering of cheese.
Yeah, everyone knows
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Totally.
It's a real side quest and it's hilarious.
Dragon Age game. I've never played any of them. Which one do I have to do this in?
Oh, it's fantastic.
See if I can find an image of him.
There's even a scene where he's like, why do I feel like I'm being judged?
Yeah.
If ever there was a noble nug, no nobler nug there ever was.
There is a picture of the king nug.
Yep.
King
Yep.
Nug.
It's a great little side quest. Epic
Dragon
cutscene and everything.
Dragon Age does have like very entertaining side quests.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fantastic.
All right, so you divide up your gold. Each of you are shown to your rooms, and they are good quality rooms. It definitely looks like no expense was spared when creating these. Estia, you kind of feel right at home. Everyone else, it may be a little too like floofy for your tastes, but the bed definitely looks comfortable.
I'm going to go straight up into my room and tidy myself up a little bit and head out into the city from there.
I was gonna say, what time of day is it?
You got there around like midday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So
Yeah.
like the city is already in its normal everyday like day-to-day rotations and everything. Everyone is on the streets doing what they need to do. The city is definitely alive, though it looks like nobody here has any sort of worry or fear in their eyes, so news of the blight may have not reached Denerim yet.
No, I'm not going to run around spreading that information.
Belantha's gonna go running around going, the blight is coming! The blight is coming!
So
With a tinfoil
unless
hat on her head.
unless anyone stops me on the way out, I'm gonna head out with the intent of stopping at the tailor first, then the smith, then the piercing/tattoo place.
All right, give me one moment here.
Your piercings, man.
I'm gonna get little markers here so I know where all of you are heading to. All right, so where are you going first?
The tailor first.
The tailor? Okay.
Pretty clothes, man.
Zoom in a bit here. All right. Valantha, where are you headed?
I feel like I have to do this. I'm gonna go to a potion shop.
Why am I not surprised?
You know what? I have elf root. I need to add it to my health potions and make them better than minor potions. And that is the ingredient, so I need to do this.
Okay. Magnus, where are you headed?
I just want to double check my math. How much did we get total off of all that?
237.
Okay. Magnus
For me,
needs to
I got 200.
pay a visit to the dwarves.
The dwarves? Which ones? The ones that run with enchantment?
Yup.
Enchantment?
God damn it.
I will go with him if he's okay with that.
You knew that was coming.
I knew it was coming. I just
This Dragon Age, damn it, it had to happen.
Wait, that's Orzus. That's the wrong one. Where is he? Orzus, Steinbeck, Dorinius. Where the hell is his token?
I've been lost.
I can't help you.
No, I put you on there. I'm looking for Ross.
I stealthed so hard my token disappeared.
Ah.
No, seriously, I don't have Ross's token on here. That's freaking me the hell out. What the hell?
Oh.
Wait, did I put him in here? No.
Is he still on the other map?
I did not stealth so hard that my token disappeared.
You stealthed into a wall, sir.
You stealthed so poorly, you left the city entirely.
No one will see me here.
That is so weird. You know what? I'll just grab him from I'll just grab his character token here.
I feel like he's the penguin from Madagascar going, you didn't see anything.
Right?
There you go. So everyone sets out on the everyone sets out on their own on the town, finally making it to Denerim after a few very long and arduous weeks together on the roads, coming from the Kakari Wilds through Lothering, through a very blood-soaked trail, causing a red lyrium spire to erupt out of the ground. And then you ran into, well, after your caravan was destroyed due to some panicked blood magic, you ran into Captain Lensel and his men, who have now brought you to the city of Denerim, where you now await for the return of King Alistar. We are going to end right here for tonight, but I want all of you before next week to level yourselves up to level 3. As you guys have completed another milestone, as to say, as you made it to Denerim alive, you know, albeit the undead trying their damnedest to make sure that doesn't happen.
Barely alive.
Oh, Jeebus.
But when we come back next week, everyone will begin to have the ability to explore Denerim, and we'll have some adventures amongst the streets and the rooftops and the underbelly of the city as you all await the return of the king.
Shopping episode?
And there will be, yeah, like next week will like definitely be a shopping episode, because this is your first time in an actual town. Well, aside from Lothering, but that hardly qualified as a town, as it was still being rebuilt and then it got destroyed again.
We're rebuilding. Burnt to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is like legitimately the first time you guys have been in civilization since the start of the campaign. So now
I've had shopping plans since like episode 3.
yeah, I was gonna say, so now we will get into the like the city exploration and city walking part of the adventure.
Magnus might actually get real armor for once.
I was gonna say, can we get Magnus armor?
Yeah, like here you'll be able to get armor and everything like that. You'll be able to make contacts and maybe even make some spread your influence a bit around here. all depending on how you play it. So those of you in chat, be prepared for a lot of role playing and a lot of role play contests while they are in the city, because Denerim, while it is civilization, still has its seedy underbelly. It still has, you know, knives lurking in the shadows waiting for unsuspecting innocents to wander on in. So
I'm
I'm-
actually able to
I
use
am
my
not-
communication.
I am not hearing downsides. I just
oh, I'm not saying it's a downside. I'm not saying it's a downside at all. But that is where we are going to leave off tonight. But everyone in chat, stick with us because we are going to go on our raid here in a couple minutes. But if this is your first time here and you enjoyed what you saw, hit that follow button. This is not the only show that we do. We currently have 4 shows in the running a week, with a couple more being spun up. On Monday nights, we have Ravenloft Calls, which is a 5th edition Ravenloft campaign that Impious is running. On Tuesday nights, you have Gibbering Mouthers, which is our 5th edition homebrew D&D campaign, where we use the core rule books and the books, the Midgard books from Kobold Press. I DM that one. And then you have us here on Wednesday for Blood on the Grey, which is, if you haven't been able to tell yet, our Dragon Age campaign. And then on Sunday, we have Waste High and Waterdeep, which is a Dragon Heist campaign, which Impious runs as well, along with all of our wonderful cast members and murder hobos. You guys have graduated from murder hobos, though, I will say, because hasn't been a lot of jimmying going on recently.
Yay!
And to be fair, Jimmy brought it on himself. I mean, he attacked us.
I
It
have
was
to say,
his fault, but
I have to say that anytime I hear somebody say Jimmy a lock now, I just think somebody's going to shoot it. That's your fault.
Aww.
Give me a lock. That means putting arcane lance through it, right?
Yeah. Lock picking.
Aw.
well, first an arrow, then an arcane lance.
But like I said, we're going to go on a raid. But before we do, Shadow Fox, who are you and what do you do on the internet?
Hi, I'm ShadowFox7471. I've been on a pretty long hiatus, and I'm trying to figure out exactly how and when I'm going to come back. But basically, life and stuff and things. But yeah, when I do stream, I mostly stream Warframe. I'm going to be streaming a lot more variety though coming up, and hopefully this weekend going to be playing some Borderlands 2, the new DLC to set up for the new Borderlands 3 game.
Fox, or other Fox, HB Fox. We have 2 Foxes. Who are you and what do you do on the internet?
I am the other Fox, and I'm right here on this channel 3 times a week, every Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Outside of that, I work very closely with the Hunter Wild on everything that we do. And speaking of hiatuses, hiatusy, plural of hiatus, we have been on a very long one as well. It's been about 3 months now. Originally, we only planned it to be 1 month. So, you know, shit happens. But we are coming back very soon. And when I say very soon, I mean very soon. We're coming back this coming Monday. So get excited for that, because we are. And come check us out.
Ravenslark, who are you and what do you do on the internet?
Hi, I'm Ravenslark. I'm Freddycaster on Twitch. You'll find me here Wednesdays and on my own channel Monday through Friday. I play a variety of stuff. I've been getting back into Final Fantasy XIV, as well as I have a wicked habit of playing games that aren't really well known, like Space Pirates and Zombies and Reassembly and stuff like that. Stuff that's not hugely advertised. So if you're into kind of off-the-wall games, come say hi.
Soro, who are you and what do you do on the internet?
I am Zoro from E3. I'm a variety caster / creative streamer on Twitch, where I play everything from RPG games, tabletop. Well, that too. Story heavy based games, a lot of Dead by Daylight. When I do my creative streams, it's usually character drawings, commissions, Twitch emotes, all that in between. Otherwise, I am here twice a week with these awesome people on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, where a lot of interesting things are happening, and I wish we played more than once a week, because I want to know what happens next, especially Tuesday.
And I am Rojan Quest. You can catch me here 3 nights a week, DMing on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, as well as playing on Sundays. And when I'm not here, I'm on my own channel every Monday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, playing a variety of games while I am raising money for Extra Life and the Lawrence Small Children's Center. And because of this game right here, I am going to be starting a brand new Dragon Age Inquisition run tomorrow. Probably put out a poll to see who you guys want me to romance and everything like that. This one is going to be an in-depth run to where we're going to try to, do a little more friend quests and everything and get everybody to like us instead of trying to speed run through the content like I've done before. But yeah, that is us. And like I said, we are going to go on a raid, and we are going to raid another cast members stream tonight, show them some love and support. We're going to go raid Biddy, who is currently playing some Resident Evil 4. So if you want to join us on that raid, hit that join button up at top. Drop our raid command of Behold a Raid in her chat a couple times, and we will catch you guys on Sunday for the continuation of Waste High and Waterdeep. But until then, guys, catch you later.